After meeting with my team today, I walked away feeling pretty good about where things are headed. One of the biggest things I realized is that I don't have to do everything myself. In fact, if I'm going to do this right, I can't do everything myself. So today was really about figuring out people's strengths and putting them in positions where they can shine. Some people are great at finding locations. Some are really good at helping shape storylines. Others have an eye for details that can take an idea and turn it into something real. So I sat everybody down and I was pretty direct with them. Now, maybe a little more direct than they're used to. I wanted them to understand that I'm serious about this. Not serious in a negative way, but serious about the vision, serious about the stories, serious about creating something that actually means something. And I'll be honest, when I first started talking, everybody had these really serious looks on their faces. Nobody was smiling, nobody was jumping in, nobody was interrupting me. For a moment, I thought, oh, maybe I came in a little too strong. I started wondering if they were uncomfortable. Maybe they were still figuring me out. Maybe they were comparing me to previous collaborators they've worked with. Maybe they were just waiting to see where I was going with all of this. But as the meeting went on, I started noticing something. They were listening, really listening. People were writing notes. They were paying attention to details. Nobody was distracted. Nobody looked checked out. They were locked in. And honestly, the more I thought about it, the more I respected it. Because sometimes people don't need to talk a lot to show they're engaged. Sometimes they're simply processing what they're hearing. What excites me is the direction we're moving in. There are so many stories out there that still haven't been told. So many conversations that people aren't having. So many experiences that get overlooked. I'm especially interested in exploring some of the stories from the male perspective, the experiences of men, young boys, and adolescents, the struggles, pressures, emotions, victories, and challenges that don't always make it into the spotlight. Not because those stories are more important than anyone else's, but because they're stories too, and they deserve to be heard. Everything isn't always rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes people are dealing with things they never talk about. Sometimes the most powerful stories are sitting right beneath the surface, waiting for someone to ask the right question. That's where I want to go. That's the kind of storytelling that interests me. The kind that digs a little deeper. The kind that makes people think. The kind that makes people feel seen. So, overall, I think the meeting went really well. I think the team understands the direction I'm trying to take. I think they're starting to see the vision. And from what I could tell, they seem ready to help bring it to life. Now it's time to get to work. And honestly, I'm excited to see what we create together.